Hello, welcome to a new, did you hear that? My shoulder cracked because I'm getting older. This summer, I'm gonna be 33. Okay, welcome to this vlog. I am very excited for it because I think I'm gonna be reading some cozy mysteries. I am really in the mood for them and I have to do a lot of sewing today. If you didn't know, I do like upholstery sewing. It's gonna be an all-day thing for me to be doing that. I really wanted to find an audiobook and I thought, you know what? Cozy mysteries are easy. They are fun. It's a good time. I have quite a few that I've been really wanting to get to lately, so I have a few options. I actually put it on my Instagram for you guys to help me. The first one is Twilight Falls by Juno Black. This is about forest creatures and mysteries that happen. They're very personified forest creatures, but it's like this little village. There's Vera Vixen, who's the town reporter. She helps to solve all these crimes. And it's just a really fun time. I probably should get to this one fairly soon because I have the second, well, it's the 5th book in the series, but it's the one right after this one called Summer's End on my NetGalley, which I'm very thankful and excited about. That one comes out, I think, in July. So that one is an option. Murder is Binding by Lorna Barrett. This book is about a mystery bookshop owner, which, by the way, love that premise. This whole series is called like Booktown Mysteries or something like that, which I love. Booktown? Okay. I think the like next door neighbor gets murdered. There's something to do with a cookbook or something like that. I don't know. Maybe a baking shop or a cook shop, like a, literally don't know. All I know is that it's a mystery bookshop owner who's trying to help solve this crime, okay? And then the third option is Farm to Trouble by Amanda Flower. I love Amanda Flower so much. She has a whimsical way of writing. It's just so good. That's a high option for me. And then the fourth one, A Novel Murder by Elizabeth Penny. This is a Christian cozy mystery, I think it's Christian because it's one of those that's like written in kind of like Guidepost, or it's not Guidepost. It's like Annie's Fiction or something, but they have a million books in different series. They have a bunch of cozy mysteries, but they're clean and lighthearted and wholesome and good, and well, so are all of these options. But it's about a library in a manor, I'm pretty sure, and I really wanted to get to Elizabeth Penny soon because I just want to. I just love that she's written some Christian cozies and is now in the secular world, and I just love that. I'm feeling very indecisive, so I decided to ask y'all on Instagram what you think I should read. It's only been like 20 minutes, okay? I need to make myself some coffee and get to sewing. I don't know what I'm gonna pick first, but you'll see it in a second, and I'll give you an update when I have one. Like a hot mess. Express? That's fine. Normally on days when I sew, I do, and it's fine. I'm about 50% of the way through Twilight Falls, and it's so good. It's just so good. It's so cute. I think I know who did it. This always happens with these books. I think about 20 or 15 to 20% of the way through I'm like, I know who did it. But it doesn't matter to me. It feels like I read these books for the feels. I read them for the characters, and I just love the atmosphere, the writing. It's just really good and cozy. These books are the coziest, okay? I think I should be able to finish this book today. I'm going to finish sewing and finish this book. Also, I never gave you a synopsis. Basically, this book is kind of a Romeo and Juliet feel because there's two animals who love each other, but their families don't get along. There's a beaver and an otter, and historically, beavers and otters do not get along. Plus, one of them is like a working class beaver, or otter? Otter. And then the beaver is very wealthy, very upper class, so they just don't like each other. They take a trip to Twilight Falls, which is the big waterfall, and with the obsidian, I don't even think I said that. The falls itself has like an obsidian black bottom, but the falls are like very beautiful, and a bunch of people, like on a Saturday, I think, took a ferry out to the falls to like spend the day and relax. Well, they see that there's two creatures, I almost said people, creatures up at the top of the falls, and people are like, stop, you're gonna fall, you're gonna fall. Well, seems like one of them pulled out a knife and killed the dad of the otter. LOL to me. Because I was like, I know who did it. These are so predictable. No. So I will say what ended up happening did cross my mind. I will say that. Can you tell my pride's a little wounded? Yeah, this was so cute. This is just such a wholesome, sweet, comforting, just cozy read for me. This was such a fun springtime read. When I started reading it, I didn't realize that it was set in the spring, and I was like, this is such a delight. Such a treat. It was just the perfect time to read it. It is such a cute cover. I just love it. Definitely recommend it. I'm just laughing at myself. The past two clips were like, I know it. It's 15%, 20% in the book, and I completely know who did it. No, you didn't, girl. No, you didn't. There's mention of like apple blossom open air tea parties. The mention of flowers and the aesthetic of this town. I'm like, where can I go to move to this city, this little village? You know, really excited to get to this, to the fifth book in this series. It's called Summer's End. It comes out July 9th, and I'm very excited. I just read the description of what is going to take place. It sounds so good. It says a unique take on dark academia. So it's late August in Shady Hollow, and the heat has Vera Vixen needing an escape. So she agrees to chaperone the annual field trip to Summer's End, an ancient tomb built by an early woodland creature, along with her good friend Lenore Lee, who is the raven of the bookshop in town. Okay, such a cute thing. So they enter into the tomb, but then they find a little bit too modern of a bone inside, or bones. They decide to take it upon themselves to figure out the mystery of whose bones those are. I really think this will be such a fun setting for these books, because up until this point they've all taken place in Shady Hollow, so I'll be interested to see, yeah, like the dynamics there. It seems like they might have to go out a little further. So much fun. Dark academia with Shady Hollow, I'll be interested. So I do have that arc, but I don't think I'm going to read that for this vlog here. I have a few options. You guys, I've been really wanting to read physically, but I am not a fast reader. And so I get in my mind of like, oh my gosh, I have to get audiobooks so I can keep up and read all the books. But I forget to slow down and enjoy it. I was talking to my friend Beth over on Instagram. She was like, I'd rather have the movie play out in my mind and read it slower than speed through it just to speed read it. Like, what's the point there? If you're reading a book just to get through it, what's the point, you know? So I have three options here, but the first one is Meet Your Baker. This is by Ellie Alexander. This is fall. Actually, hold on. I'm just words, Lauren. words. Okay, this had Romeo and Juliet themes with the two who were in love and their families hated each other. And so does this. It has Shakespeare. Maybe we're just gonna accidentally themed cozy mystery Shakespeare. What? That's so niche. Okay, but it says, welcome to Tort, a friendly small town family bake shop where the treats are so good that sometimes it's criminal. It's following Juliet Capshaw. She returns to her quaint hometown of Ashland, Oregon. She has a broken heart. She's there to help her parents run this bakery, and there is a Shakespeare festival that is bringing a lot of tourists looking for some crumpets to go with their heroic couplets. Can I read? But when one of Tort's customers turns up dead, there's much ado about murder. How did that happen? How did this happen? Maybe I feel like I should read this, but I'll show you my other options. The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. Someone tell me how to pronounce his name. I need to look it up, but then I always forget until I'm filming a clip and having to say his name. Okay, very excited to get to this. This is, if you don't know, the Thursday Murder Club. Such a fun, cozy time following octogenarian sleuths who originally are trying to solve cold cases on their free Thursday nights, but they end up getting wrapped up in actual real-time murder cases. So, but I also have Tea and Treachery by Vicki Delaney. I have been itching to get to this book. This is following a grandmother and a granddaughter. Lily Roberts is the granddaughter. She is the owner and proprietor of Tea by the Sea. She's a pastry chef. Oh my goodness. It's a traditional English tea room on the picturesque bluffs of Cape Cod. So Rose is her grandmother who owns an old Victorian B&B adjacent to Lily's tea shop. But there's an aggressive real estate developer and he's pushing hard to rezone nearby land with an eye towards building a sprawling golf resort, which would drive Lily and Rose out of business. I think he ends up dead and they're looked at as prime suspects. That's how these cozies tend to go. I feel like this one is perfect for this vlog since this was already kind of Shakespeare-like. I think this is going to be my next one. But yeah, I've been itching to just physically read. I think the audiobook is only on Audible and I don't have Audible. So this will be the perfect one to just sit and read with my eyeballs and like take it in and enjoy, slow down a little bit. I feel like books are a slippery slope for me with making them a distraction, like too much of a distraction. There's nothing wrong with books or enjoying a story to just lighten your mind a little bit, but I do think that for me personally, it's a slippery slope with too much. Like I can easily just fall into that slippery slope of too much of a good thing. Does that make sense? Also, I'm really super sad this morning because there is this little town actually all throughout Oklahoma. Last night were a ton of tornadoes, like a ton. There were so many that the news actually like couldn't fully cover all of them, and there's this little town in Oklahoma called Sulphur. It's where I got that. It's like a embroidered art. I love it so much. I got this there and I got, you can't see it, but I got a painting up there and then the one above my bed with the white daisies. I got there and I'm so sad because I think the street that this antique shop was on was like completely obliterated. I'm just praying for them and everyone around my state who was affected. I really do not like tornadoes. And the bad part about it is the biggest ones I feel like usually happen after it's dark. Not to get too heavy, but I'm feeling sad. Feeling sad about that. We're gonna go to Tulsa today to see my husband's parents, and I'm thinking maybe if my husband will do this. There's a Books-A-Million in Tulsa, which I didn't realize, and I've never been into a Books-A-Million, so we'll see if I get to go in. It just depends. But if we have time and my girls are in good moods, we might stop in because I've never been into one. begging for a hair tutorial. Don't worry, that's coming. LOL. Not feeling the greatest. We're here, okay? But I needed to give you an update on Meet Your Baker because I am about halfway through. I think I'm over halfway through it. I love this. Like, oh, I just love it so much. It's so good. Ellie Alexander's writing is so good. She has such a way of writing an atmospheric cozy. What's happening in this one is that we're following a Juliet Capshaw. She returns to her hometown after she's been on a cruise. She's been like a head chef on a cruise line. She's coming home from a heartbreak, but her hometown is a little cute town called Ashland, Oregon. This place actually exists, okay? It actually exists, and I must go. I must go someday. In real life, but also in this book, there is a Shakespeare festival. And so they put on a Shakespeare play every season. It's so fun. I love hearing about that. I love getting the theater people. I feel like the theater person is the perfect quirky townsperson for a cozy mystery because they're just so extra, you know? But I am loving it. So Juliet goes back home to help her mom run a bake shop called Tort. Her dad had passed away when she was like a teenager. It becomes apparent that her mom is really struggling with the finances of Tort. Juliet's really not sure what's going on. So one morning when she goes to the bakery to start getting things together, when she gets to the bakery, there's someone who's dead. Dun dun dun. She has to figure out who done it. I love these characters. I really love Juliet's mom. I'm so excited that there's so many books in this series because I definitely feel like I'm gonna be reading them. You know? I knew a lot of people love this series, but now I understand. Now I understand why. So Meet Your Baker. I loved this. I loved Ellie Alexander's writing. Pretty sure I mentioned that I really like her other series, so it makes sense that I would like this, but I'm just really happy that I did end up loving this. I really liked the reveal. I really didn't see it coming. Yeah, I had the best time. Also, there's this quote on page 100 that I really wanted to read. It's talking about like not knowing what to do, what choice to make in your life. It says, "I know you're confused right now. One thing I've learned over the years is how to be more comfortable not knowing. What if you sit with not knowing for a while? We don't always have to know. What if you didn't?" And I really resonated with that because sometimes I think I have to figure things out or something's wrong if I don't have a plan, but there is wisdom in waiting, and sometimes you have to wait on the Lord. Sometimes he asks you to wait. She's definitely not talking about Jesus in this book, but it resonated with me in that sense because I have been just kind of restless, or I don't know the word, feeling like I need to know what's coming, but sometimes that's just not possible, and we have to be okay with that. Waiting on the Lord is waiting, right? And not knowing. And it's okay to not know. I feel like it was just kind of a light bulb moment through reading a cozy mystery. God uses all things, right? But I feel like we had a really good reading vlog. I feel like I was coming back to my fictional love. I just love cozy mysteries. They're so wholesome and good. For the most part, the ones that I've read, I just really love cozy mysteries because I personally love trying to figure out what's gonna happen, who done it, type of a thing. And LOL to me, thinking I completely knew what was happening and then didn't. But this was such a cute cozy mystery. I love this series. I know it might not be for everyone, but it is for me. It is the definition of cozy in my mind. I don't know what I'm gonna rate this one. Probably a 4-star. I'll probably rate it a 4.5. Probably a 4 on Goodreads. I don't know. But this one's getting a 5 because You know when you read a book and you just feel it? You just feel it in your bones? That's what this was. And so it just had everything I love about cozy mysteries. I will say there is some swearing in this book. So it's not like often. I can't even remember what they've said. It did kind of take me out of it because I was like, oh, okay. Because most of the time cozy mysteries don't have, the ones that I've read anyways, don't have swearing, but this one did have a few. So just so you know, going into it, but it was just so good. It was so good. I'm excited to continue on in that series, but thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all of you for sticking around this long, and if you want to hit the subscribe and the like and the notification bell, I would really love it to see you stick around. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite cozy mystery is, or if you like cozy mysteries. Which ones have you tried? All the things down below in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I like to end my little videos on YouTube with a blessing and a prayer. I pray that Jesus shows you his friendship today, that you will feel his joy, that you will realize the promise that he's coming back. That's something that he's been showing me. I knew that, but it's like he's reminded me that it is actually a promise that he has said he is going to come back. He's going to wipe away every tear from our eyes, make everything right. And I pray that if you don't know him today, that today would be the day of salvation for you. If you are at all curious about that and want to have a conversation about Jesus, if you're curious about how to have a friendship with him, I would love to have that conversation with you. Definitely leave a comment or find me on Instagram. I have my Instagram link down below. I would love to have that conversation with you. I just pray that you feel his love today and that it sparks something in you, that you would realize that his joy is unfading. It never ends. It never ceases. It is always, no matter what your circumstances are, we have access to that, and I love that. It's such a cool thing. Anyways, thank you for watching. And I pray that you are blessed in Jesus' name. I will see you in my next video. Bye.